This video is made to provide an opinion on day trading and the economy and possible causes and effects, and is published without prejudice regarding its content.
Hello, I hear you are the global day trader?
Yes, I trade stocks every day on the global stock markets around the world.
Why do you do that?
I trade the stocks every day so that I can beat the Bernanke and his plot to destroy the American economy and the US dollar and the simple folk nest egg and the simple folk retirement.
Why is the Bernanke trying to destroy the American economy and the US dollar and the simple folk nest egg and the simple folk retirement?
When he was at school at the Princeton, he studied the Depression and the deflation and was so interested in it that he thought he would give it a try and then see if he could prove the Bernanke doctrine. Like the firefighter that has to make the big fire so that he can see if he really can put out the big fire. It's the experiment these people are driven to do.
Why would he want to do that?
When he was at the Princeton, he was a small prick that was good at the maths and the calculus he taught himself, but not good at the football, so now he wants to prove that he has a bigger prick than the Ben Rottenberger.
But if he really is a little prick, then how can he destroy the American economy and the dollar and the simple folk nest egg and the simple folk retirement? How is he strong enough to do that?
He is chairman of the Fed and has the power to fuck up the economy and destroy the simple folk nest egg and the simple folk retirement any time he wants. He says he can do it in just 15 minutes.
Wow. Is he really that powerful? How can he fuck up the economy and destroy the US dollar and the simple folk nest egg and the simple folk retirement in just 15 minutes? Is he superhuman?
He can do this by using his favorite tools, the quantitative easing and the interest rates.
What is the quantitative easing?
When the Fed wants to lower the value of the dollar, it prints the money and calls it the quantitative easing. He increases the money supply, which dilutes the value of the dollar.
So everyone will have more dollars.
No, but everyone's dollars will be worth less now because there are so many of them out there. See, you can't print the gold, it stays the same volume and is not easy to make. So, for example, if the number of dollars in circulation in an area increases by 50% and the volume of gold in the same area stays the same, this has the same effect as reducing the dollar's value to buy gold by 33% ceteris paribus, or all things being equal.
So, where do all the new dollars go?
The Bernanke basically gives the dollars to the government so the government can spend the dollars on the shovel-ready projects like the bridge to nowhere.
The government must really like the Bernanke.
Yes, that is why they keep reappointing him as chairman of the Fed.
How does he give all those dollars to the government? This must be a very big job and need a very big vehicle to move them.
Yes, it is, but he does this with help from the Goldman Sachs.
Is the Goldman Sachs always this helpful?
No, the Goldman Sachs does this for a charge. The Goldman Sachs has the big vehicle that the Bernanke needs and charges handsomely for its use.
The Goldman Sachs must really like the Bernanke too.
Yes, he helped save them from the nationalization before, but that is another story.
You mentioned the Bernanke has another favorite tool called the interest rates.
Yes, the interest rate is one of his most powerful tools.
What does he use the interest rate for?
Basically, he uses it to fuck the middle class, honest folk, and old people.
Why does he want to fuck the middle class, honest folk, and the old people?
Because they have the money that the others do not have. The Bernanke wants the middle class and the honest folk and the old people to spend their money buying stuff they don't want or need. The Bernanke wants them to risk their life savings money in risky investments. The Bernanke is trying to force the good and old folk to survive from the stupid behavior of the dumb get-rich-quick idiots and the dumb banks who also now don't have any of the money left.
How does the Bernanke do this with the interest rate tool?
It's easy. Good, honest, hard-working folk live frugal lives and save the money as best they can all through their lives so they can do the retirement on the nest egg. The nest egg grows slowly over many years with monthly principal deposits, and with the interest money the bank pays the saver folk to keep the nest egg in the bank. Making interest rates zero means that the fucking banks pay no money to the good saver folk, and that the good people and the small savers now will not have enough of the money saved in the nest egg to do the retirement. This is how the Bernanke fucks the middle class, honest folk and the old people.
Why does he make the interest rates zero? Is he crazy? Why hurt the good, honest folks, and the old people?
Perhaps, but the evil banks and the penniless get rich quick. Idiots who borrow too much of the money really like the Bernanke because now they only have to pay the small interest on their overpriced crap that they couldn't afford in the first place.
Ah, I'm beginning to understand why you are the day trader now. Basically, you have been a good hard-working citizen all your life and have saved the money in the nest egg at the bank so you can do the retirement. Then the Bernanke decides to print the money and reduce interest rates to zero, then devalue the dollar and make the retirement and the nest egg devalue too, all because he wants to help the evil banks and the stupid get-rich-quick idiots who have overspent like the prodigal son.
Yes, I think you understand it now.
But I hear that day trading is a very complicated and risky job and you must do it through one of the evil banks or the brokerages. And I hear that the fucking Goldman Sachs has the best robots in the business to help them always get the best prices because their robots are faster than the simple honest folk and the old folk.
Yes, the Goldman Sachs has many robots that try to do that, but the Goldman Sachs robots are made by the Goldman Sachs people so they think like the Goldman Sachs people. The trick is to understand how the Goldman Sachs robots think and then adjust the trading strategy to beat them.
Wow, that sounds very difficult. How do you do that?
I use the Dhynosoft robot.
What is the Dhynosoft robot? How do you spell that?
It is spelled like this, D-H-Y, no, soft. You can see it at www.dhynosoft.com.
Thank you, but what does it do?
The Dhynosoft robot is an international psychological quant program, so it can feel and think like the actual traders who trade the different types and sectors of the stocks. Example, oil traders think differently to healthcare traders who think differently to scab bankers. All global traders have different tolerances to risk and other global sensitivities that are seen throughout the world. The traders of the stocks from the different countries think very differently. The Dhynosoft robot has a true global personality and prefers its martini stirred, not shaken.
Wow, that sounds more clever than the Bernanke. Maybe the Dhynosoft should run the Fed?
Unlikely. The Dhynosoft is a tool for the simple, hard-working global investor people who have the nest egg and have the retirement to protect and look forward to.
What is the secret behind the Dhynosoft? The Dhynosoft sounds more complicated than the 32-dimension Fibonacci.
Yes, it is.
How did you get to know about the Dhynosoft?
15 years ago I met the Chuck in the ruins of the Acropolis in Greece and he gave it to me to use only in emergency near the end of the financial world, apparently an appropriate place for financial disaster. So, now the livelihood of simple, honest, hard-working folk is now under heavy assault from the Bernanke, so I brought the Dhynosoft robot to life to help save the helpless.
How does the Dhynosoft robot work?
Powered by its K1 design Moffa supercomputer, each day the Dhynosoft gets the market closing data from the Australia, the Tokyo, the Shanghai, the Hong Kong, the India, the London, the Brazil, the Canada and the US stock exchanges. As it gets the data, it quickly number crunches the data from each market and respectively produces the output recommendations on what stocks to try and buy the next trading day. Once the stocks are bought, the Dhynosoft robot monitors this and tells me when to sell the stocks and hopefully make the profit so it can help grow the nest egg and bring the retirement sooner.
Wow, how many of the stocks does it analyze and does this take a long time?
The Dhynosoft robot analyzes about 30,000 of the stocks each day. The Dhynosoft robot outputs each country's recommended stock picks about 2 hours after the respective stock exchanges close. The Dhynosoft robot gives precise entry prices and precise selling prices for stocks already bought.
So, the Dhynosoft robot is working around the clock?
Yes, 24 hours a day. But don't worry, it has ample capacity to grow and it can assimilate different countries' stock exchanges as we wish, including FX and commodities. But that is another story.
This sounds wonderful. How accurate is the Dhynosoft robot?
Historically, it turns more than 75% of its picks into gains. You can see the full, past 90 trading days performance history at www.dhynosoft.com.
Ah, I see now. Whereas the Bernanke gets most things wrong because he is the Princeton economist, the Dhynosoft gets it right more than 75% of the time. Are you sure that Chuck cannot make one for the Fed?
I believe that Chuck was educated at the Iowa State University, where the hard-working folk must get it right more than 75% of the time, or it's the shit pile for them.
So, let me see if I understand how the Dhynosoft robot can help grow the nest egg and help the retirement. First, the Dhynosoft robot helps me choose the good stock picks and gets them right historically more than 75% of the time. Secondly, because I can now get good analysis of the international and the global stock markets, I can choose and invest in the international stocks in the local currencies, so hedging against further dollar depreciation from the quantitative easing and the zero interest rate policy of the Bernanke.
Yes, you understand it perfectly now. It's called trading stocks the Dhynosoft way.
Again, this video was made to provide an opinion on day trading and the economy and possible causes and effects, and is published, without prejudice, regarding its content.